What's going on, everybody? Hope you guys all having a fantastic Sunday. Guys, we're going to give you an update on the Richard Allen case. I believe closing arguments will be happening this Monday or Tuesday or some shit like that. And of course, I will put out what I believe happened in this case and ultimately tell you how I predict this entire thing will go. It'll disappoint a lot of you, and then some of you, you'll be like, I understand, I get it. And as you guys see, I followed along with this case to the absolute best I could all these years, and then ultimately it was a trial. All of us got different things that make us say guilty or not guilty. And you guys pretty much already know where I stand for the most part with all this, but I will give you my final verdict following the closing arguments. But that's not what we're here to do today. We're going to go ahead and get you a Sunday update. I'm going to show you what has been going on the last couple of days in the Richard Allen trial. I'm JB Gunner. This is Crime Time. Let's do it.
Bring it back.
What's going on, everybody? As you guys know, I'm JB Gunner, and this is Crime Time. Now, before we get started, let me first and foremost say thank you to everybody who supports the channel. Regardless of the channel, regardless of the platform and the method you choose, whether it's Cash App, Patreon, Venmo, PayPal. Guys, I couldn't do this for the last 18 years on all these different channels if it wasn't for you, the Gun Squad. Appreciate you so much. We did our inaugural Gun Squad Hall of Fames today. We will be on the stream over there on the Gun Show as well as on JB Gunner TV. But anyways, if you guys also find my content valuable, feel free to hit the links. Thank you to the Gun Squad. But anyway, let's go ahead and jump right into this. I'm not going to take up too much of your time on a Sunday. We're just going to get into this and do as much of this as we can. We don't have a lot to kind of update on, but let's jump right in. DELPHI murder trial. Here's Richard Allen was seriously mentally ill when he admitted to murder in prison confessions. Obviously, they heard the suspect's murder confessions, and then they've heard experts say he was seriously mentally ill when he made up a string of prison confessions in which he admitted to killing Liberty German and Abigail Williams. Here's my issue with this, right? Here's my issue with this. Mentally ill or not, how the fuck did you get it? How did you just happen to know there was a white van? And I know a lot of you guys are going to argue with me about this, and I don't really care, because that needs answered to me. How did Richard Allen know that there was a white van that passed that exact location at exactly 2:30? Just the very same moment that Abby's phone stopped working, stopped moving. Her phone stopped moving around 2:32, and around 2:37 or 2:27 to 2:35 is when they said the white van, the dude would have been arriving from work. That's all I want to ask is how is that possible in these confessions? I don't care how drugged up, I don't care how crazy he sounds or was. How did he know that a white van passed that location at that exact time on that day? That's the question that needs to be answered, because I'm just going to spoil this for you. Unless that question gets answered, to me, Richard Allen is guilty. He knew about the white van, and that white van passing that exact spot at that exact same time on a road where normal traffic does not go. So Richard Allen or whoever was killing the kids, they wouldn't have expected a vehicle to go down there because it's not where normal traffic goes. So in my opinion, this holds a lot of credence to Richard Allen's claims that he did it if ultimately he knew about the white van. Because that's something that, in my opinion, that more than likely only the killer would know. So that shocked me completely. Guys, DELPHI murder victims' families are furious at the court's decision to protect the dignity of alleged killer Richard Allen. Here's my problem with this, is he's still innocent. Family and friends of Liberty German and Abigail Williams were left furious at an Indiana court's decision to shield explicit prison video footage from public view out of respect for the dignity of the man accused of murdering the teens. This was his crazy eating feces type shit or whatever it was, smearing feces, eating paper. I would assume it's these videos that they're shielding. They had made a decision not to show the courts. And listen, I think ultimately it's a good decision. Today, his defense continued to make their case by admitting into evidence close to 2 hours of footage taken from camcorders used by guards who constantly monitored and filmed Allen during his 13 months in solitary confinement. Francis Gold explained that due to the rather explicit scenes contained across 15 videos, she would be publishing the exhibit, meaning the videos could be viewed, but only to the jury. I actually think that's awesome. I don't think that normal people, you or me, I don't think that you or me or the families or anyone else needs to see the explicit private videos of Richard Allen in his jail cell. As long as the jury sees it, that's reasonable. But there's no reason that any of us should see, especially if there was explicit, him maybe jacking his dick, eating shit, I don't think that's stuff that you and I need to see. The court's seeing it, the jury's going to see it. That's good enough. And I know a lot of you nosy motherfuckers are going to disagree with me. I know you are. I completely know you are. But they're a little upset. The families, I guess, wanted to see him eat shit or some shit. Jurors react to video of Richard Allen in custody. They did see video, clearly. There was videos at the center of day 14. They watched a series of camcorder videos showing Allen in custody at Westville Correctional Facility. The videos were not played for the courtroom at large, meaning neither reporters nor media pool notes can shed any light on the content, which is good. The videos were at the center of objections and sidebars during Friday's proceedings, with the state objecting to their admission. And that makes sense. The defense team couldn't play them Friday, however, because it didn't know the exact dates of each clip. And that's another thing. I feel like this. I don't feel like the defense needed to know the dates of each clip to be able to introduce video clips clearly he was in prison. Clearly it's Richard Allen. Why do they got to know the exact date and time of the clip? But either way, the videos is what mainly has been talked about recently, and basically just his interactions inside jail. And it makes sense for him to have those. It makes sense to me for those videos to be the key elements going on right now. But let's go ahead and move this over here. Let's see what the news has been talking about. We'll get you all up to date with this case right now. Let's go ahead.
Breaking news, another day of testimony has now ended in the Delphi murders trial. This marks the end of 2 weeks in the courtroom. This was the first full day of defense testimony. CBS 4's Max Lewis was in Delphi for another full day in court. Max, bring us up to speed. What did we learn today?
Hey, Bob, good evening. Well, it was the first full day of defense testimony, and I would have to say the defense probably didn't get off to the start that they would like. Let me first tell you about some of the stuff that we just learned when we got out of court about 15 minutes ago. You might remember the defense had made a motion. They had made several motions over the course of this case to try to get the Odinism theory back into the trial. Basically,
which I do not think should be.
A group of Odinists, this pagan religion, that committed the.
I'm sorry. I do not think the Odinist theory should be allowed in. I think it is a complete made-up story. I even think when you listen to people on the internet talk about it, I don't think they know what they're talking about. Trust me, I read all the comments. I just think people, when they decide, well, I don't think Richard Allen is guilty, then they have to create a new booger man, right? They do the same thing. We don't think Brian Koberger is guilty, but there's a lot of people on the internet that took it one extra step. And they say, well, I think this person did it. They don't know none of that shit, right? Same thing here. They don't know none of this shit. They're like, oh yeah, the Odin thing, that sounds like that's probably what happened. No, man, you don't know. You don't know shit, and it's a made-up story. In my opinion, it's a made-up story, and at the very least, there's no evidence supporting it. Or that we know of.
Murders killed Abby and Libby in a ritualistic sacrifice. They motioned for that again, and Judge Galt denied that.
And once again, Odinists don't run around killing little white girls as ritualistic sacrifices. It does not happen.
Motion once again, as she has before. The other important thing They were asking for an FBI agent by the name of Adam Pohl to testify remotely in this. There were several reasons given why he couldn't actually come and testify. His testimony is important because he interviewed a man by the name of Brad Weber, who says that he was driving his van back by the bridge around this day, around 2:30, and back to his home. He says that. However, apparently in a statement to this FBI agent, he contradicted that. Now, that is important because that...
Now, that would be interesting. That is information we should see. Remember what I said earlier. The white van is my reason for when you put the white van with the 61 confessions. How did he see the white van? That's my question. Right now, I would vote guilty, even though there's not a lot of evidence. I need to know about the white van.
That has sort of become a major detail in this case.
Yeah, of course.
Because Richard Allen's confession from prison mentioned a van, and that we know is...
It's very simple. White van, guilty. Not white van, not guilty. That's where I'm at right now.
The detail that only the killer would know, according to Prosecutor McClellan. However, we began the day with testimony from a psychologist, the lead behavioral health psychologist, actually, at the Indiana Department of Corrections, and that is how the defense intended to start off. They say that this psychologist testified that Mr. Allen suffered from a severe mental illness while in solitary confinement inside the Westville Correctional Facility. Her name was Dr. Deanna Dwenger. She testified that even just faking symptoms, like the prosecutor is accusing Allen of doing, could be a sign of mental illness. But even someone who's faking occasionally may slip a true claim into their ramblings or comments, such as...
And let me also say this that a lot of you people do not understand or know about. People try to fake crazy in prison all the time to get meds, drugs, like psych meds. Try to get out of their cell block, try to get actually into solitary confinement. Maybe they owe people money for commissary, whatever the case may be. I'm telling you this, and I want you guys to listen. People fake crazy in jail all the time, and sometimes it's not even just for that. It's peacocking. It's like, remember when if you see a black bear, they tell you to look big, like, rah, to try to intimidate the black bear? Well, that's how it is with the same thing that it is with the grizzly bear, it is with the niggly bear. In jail, people try to claim to be crazy to seem more violent or more dangerous or whatever the case may be. Oh man, that was a good one, huh? Ooh, I'm gonna get some comments for that shit, huh? Hey, boo-boo. Good shit. Anyway, that's how this shit works. People play that shit all the time. It's not uncommon. I've done it before. People do it for various reasons. And a lot of that is either, like I said, the peacocking, trying to get psych meds, whatever the case, trying to get moved blocks. It's just a normal thing that happens inside of a jail or prison.
When Allen told his wife that he did kill Abby Williams and Libby German. Dr. Dwenger did boost the defense case a little bit when she said that solitary confinement, which Mr. Allen was in, is toxic to the welfare of someone who is mentally ill, and when she said the normal policies to make sure a mentally ill person doesn't decompensate even more weren't followed, specifically with Mr. Allen. We ran into a little bit of an issue at lunch because the defense was trying to introduce and show to the jury videos taken from Mr. Allen's cell as well as on a camcorder of what his condition was like in the Westville Correctional Facility. They were going to show those. The prosecution objected. There's apparently an issue about saying exactly when these videos were taken, and Judge Gall said if she can't know when exactly those videos were taken, then she will not allow them to be shown to the jury.
See, that's crazy. When was the videos taken? When Richard Allen was locked up?
Wrap-up testimony today from Steve Mullen, who is the Carroll County prosecutor investigator. He has been on the stand multiple times, as well as former Sheriff Tobe Lesenby. The highlights from theirs is that Steve Mullen confirmed what we have known for quite a bit of time, that a bunch of interviews, nearly every interview that the investigators did between the beginning of the investigation, the day after Abby and Libby were murdered, all the way to March 21st of 2017, all of them got deleted.
That's
somehow.
crazy. crazy.
Then, even more videos got deleted. April 28th to June 2nd of 2017, the summer after the girls were murdered. All of those interviews with witnesses, everybody, those were all deleted and gone. That was sort of a big thing. The big thing from former Sheriff.
I think Richard Allen can win this case on appeal, by the way. This is not a home run case. I have reasonable doubt, so I think, well, would I actually say guilty? I have reasonable doubt. You can't send this man to the death penalty, to the chair, or wherever, if you have reasonable doubt. You know what I mean? The white van thing makes him look very, very guilty. The confession thing makes him look very, very guilty. But I have reasonable doubt because the prosecution hasn't really provided anything. I don't believe the gun shit at all, the bullet shit at all. That's not good enough evidence for me.
Sheriff Lesenby, was that they got him on the stand to testify that he did believe, as recently as August of 2023, that more than one person committed the murders of Abby Williams and Libby German. So, big day of testimony. We expect the defense has indicated that they might be able to verify the dates on those videos I mentioned earlier. That might be shown tomorrow. We also may possibly hear from Superintendent Doug Carter of the Indiana State Police. That's all happening possibly tomorrow.
Doug Carter's big. That's big.
Here at 9 a.m. again. Bob?
More dramatic developments to come. Max, thank you for that update. CBS 4.
That Doug Carter thing is pretty big. Let's look at WTHR saying. Jury sees Richard Allen's prison video. This is day 14.
Today, jurors in the Delphi murders trial got to see video taking them inside one of the toughest prisons in the state.
Westville.
We're talking about the prison where the man accused of killing Abby Williams and Libby German was once housed. Our senior investigative reporter Bob Siegel was once again in the Carroll County courtroom for today's testimony. Tonight, he explains how the defense team hopes the video will sway the jury.
The 15 videos the jury saw in court today are to help them understand the harsh conditions Richard Allen was subjected to at the West.
Yes, prison's hard. Jail's worse. You ask anybody, particularly in Indiana, I'll tell you. You ask most people what's worse. Would you rather be in like prison or jail? Prison is always much better. Now, granted, Westville sucks. But prison is better than jail. I'm sorry. And I know that sounds crazy because you're convicted by the time you get to prison, whereas in jail you're not. You would think that jail would be easier. But jail's dirtier. There's a lot of people in and out. Like, jail is just worse. Prison is more, everybody is settling in to make it their home, so to speak. Prison has a routine, and it's very much more organized than jail. Yeah, it's dangerous if you end up in a violent prison such as Westville. But I'm going to be honest with you, Richard Allen wasn't around those violent inmates, so that didn't matter.
Westville Correctional Facility. The defense contends that those conditions prompted Richard Allen to have a series of mental breakdowns, which then led to him making false confessions. The videos were compiled by Max Baker, who was the defense's first witness on Saturday morning. He was able to confirm for the jury that all the videos were taken by corrections officers during a 3-month time frame when Allen was confessing to killing Abby and Libby. It's important to point out, only the jurors got to see these videos, not those of...
I will say this, if Richard Allen did kill them girls. You know, we see this a lot with people. A lot of people are big and bad on the street, right? Like, you was bad enough to kill them girls, but once you get behind them motherfucking gates with some of us, things change. It changes, doesn't it? All of a sudden, Richard Allen went crazy and was frail and weak. Now, if Richard Allen did this, you wasn't weak when you was slicing them girls' throats, were you? But you see this a lot, man. You see this a lot in prison. You see people on the streets do some crazy, dumb shit. That's one thing. But trust me, when you're behind bars and everyone around you has done some crazy, dumb shit, that's when the cream rises to the top. When it comes to, I guess you can say, toughness. Prison very much so is a masculinity competition. I'll just say that. I'll say that.
Of us sitting in the gallery. because some of the videos show Allen naked as he's being transported around the prison.
Damn.
A large video screen in the courtroom was angled and moved very close to jurors to prevent others from viewing the videos. But a few of us journalists in the front row were still able to see some of them. In one, Allen was transported into a building as he was restrained in a chair with straps around his chest and waist and thighs.
Motherfucker walking
Two people
around
stood
naked.
over him as he appeared to receive some type of medical treatment, and then he was wheeled to a van, still restrained, and returned to his cell. In another video...
Yo, them videos might help Allen, right? If it shows them strapping him down and forcing him these medical treatments, holy fuck. That may help Allen for sure.
Allen appeared to be lying down and needed assistance from corrections officers to get up. And in a third, Allen was being showered by officers who were scrubbing his head and back and shoulders while Allen's hands were cuffed behind his
Wow.
back. The jury was told they'll likely see
I ain't
more
never seen no
videos
shit
next
like that.
week that will show Allen's strange behavior in his cell. Again, an effort to counteract the confessions that the jury heard because the defense claims Allen was suffering from mental illness.
That's
at
gonna
the
be
time he
big.
made all those incriminating statements. Today's testimony really upset some people in the courtroom, including the victims' families. They were angry that the reason that the videos today were not shown to everyone in the courtroom was out of a sense of offering privacy and honoring the dignity of Richard Allen.
Yeah, he's innocent right now. He hasn't been proven guilty yet. Show the man some, give the man some dignity.
They say Abby and Libby were not offered that same respect, and they point out
That is a good point.
pictures of the girls' bodies, including Libby German lying dead naked in the woods.
That's a great fucking point.
Those pictures were shown to everyone in the courtroom.
That is a
over the
great
last
point.
couple of weeks.
I stand corrected.
Tomorrow is a day off for the jury, and then Monday we're expecting a heated day of testimony here in Delphi. In Delphi, I'm Bob Siegel, 13 News.
This shit did actually pick up, man. I don't know. Delphi, murder trial defense presents case. We basically just heard this, but let's listen to this one too. This is a different one.
The second week of the Delphi murders trial is coming to a close, and the defense today had their first full day of presenting their case. Their goal is to convince the jury that Richard Allen did not murder Abby Williams and Libby German in 2017.
Well, yeah, that's the
Our
goal of
Emily
the defense,
Longnecker
of
was
course.
in court today, and tonight is breaking down the big takeaways from this testimony.
Well, a big blow for the defense today. Judge Gall ruled that Allen's defense team cannot tell the jury about their alternate theory that the girls were killed in a pagan ritual. That also means the jury will not hear from people the defense was planning to call to testify
That's
about other
crazy.
potential suspects
That's
in the case.
nuts.
Judge Gall ruled Allen's defense team had not shown a direct connection between other potential suspects and the murders.
And that's something that everybody needs to keep in mind. If the defense wasn't able to show them a direct connection or evidence, then how do you motherfuckers on the internet have it? You don't.
Today, the defense also hoped to show the jury videos of Richard Allen in prison around the time of his confessions to illustrate his mental anguish they say was caused by the harsh conditions he was living under. The judge ruled the jury cannot see those videos until the defense can confirm that the dates of the videos coincide with the time Allen confessed.
And as we said, they did show them the videos. They showed the jury. You pretty much heard all of that. Guys, I don't know. I need to know how he recollected seeing that white van. That's what I need to know. How did Richard Allen know that a white van passed that exact spot at that exact time? I need to know that. Because if that does not get taken care of, I think he's guilty, man. Now, will he be found guilty? I don't know, because I think there's still reasonable doubt. Would I find him guilty with reasonable doubt? Probably not. But if that white van thing is legit, I believe he did it. That's the way I stand. Let me know what you guys think, though. This white van is clearly an issue. Clearly. And listen, don't just say, if you guys disagree with me, please explain to me the white van and tell me from facts that you have, please. Don't just make some up. Well, some YouTuber told me it was a green van. I don't want to hear that bullshit, right? I want to hear about the tunnels and the clowns and the shit. I don't want to hear it, all right? Cool? Guys, I'm JB Gunner. This is Crime Time. Let me know what you think. I appreciate all of you. I will, what was I about to say? I will see you guys again tomorrow, man. If you guys want to support the channel, as always, links are down below. I don't know where the fuck my mind just went. My mind just went to Richard. My shit just went back to Westville my damn self. Anyways, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Stay away from them bears.